Okay. Sorry, I had to go get my little tablet. Oop. But right now I'm just trying to like not mess with these wires too much so nothing like falls down. But hello, Arcfiend. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks. Very late, like an hour late, like an hour and 12 minutes late. But I'll explain that. Let me just move some of this stuff. Okay. That should be, actually... Oh my goodness, I'm trying not to, knock everything over. Okay. So, today we are going to do some coloring. I don't know, I just had this thought in my brain. I decided to get like regular blue gloves instead of the leather ones, because obviously I think doing this with leather gloves is going to be way harder. Not saying that this is like better, like it's still kind of sweaty, but I mean they're gloves, what are you gonna do? So I just found this like coloring sheet online. It was really hard to find like a coloring sheet, like a good one. Because I'm pretty picky with like my coloring sheets. A lot of them were just like very line arty. If that makes sense. So it's like, what's the point of coloring this? And a lot of them were kind of like art where I was like, I'm not sure if this is like stolen art that someone like took and did a line art of. Which I'm not saying this one is as well, but while I was like researching, I just found this website where they had like a whole bunch of like coloring sheets that you can use, probably for like teachers that they can download for their kids. And yeah, so we're just gonna do that. I haven't really been doing coloring, I guess, in a while, so like I'm not sure. Like even when I was printing this yesterday or like 2 days ago when I printed this, I didn't even think about like what colors I was gonna use. I was just like, okay, let's just. But I'll be using some Prismacolors, so hold on, something stuck onto it. Some Prismacolors, so these are some Prismacolors that I have just like sitting around. These are the Premier ones, which is like thicker lead. And these are my old, like 10+ year old Prismacolor Very Thins. So we're just kind of gonna go back and forth on that. And this might be a little hard too because I'm right-handed, and like the way that the lamps and stuff is kind of positioned, this might be a little hard to color. You know, I probably won't be going in as much as like I would like to. Also, I think I didn't change the Twitch title or anything, so let me just fix that. That's one thing I messed up on. I see, I'm always forgetting something. Always. Let me just change that. I'm pretty sure I have like Tears of the Kingdom on here or something. And I'm also wearing my sweaty jacket here. Video producer? I think that's where it is. Obviously my computer likes to be very slow, so... yeah, let me just change like the settings on here so it's not like Tears of the Kingdom themed. Here, stream manager. And like my computer is very slow, so... And I'm using one hand too, so I'm gonna have to type this out in one hand. Or maybe two if I trust myself. But I imagine it's morning for you again, so like probably 4 a.m. this time. Last time you said 3 a.m., so... Okay. Let's do something simple. always try to do something different with my titles, but let's do a coloring sheet. Yay, exclamation marks. Cute little heart emoticon. Yay. And then this is an art category. And then so get rid of all this Cheers of the Kingdom. Okay. Done. Okay. Good. Let's go back to OBS. Perfect. 2 a.m? Okay. Awesome. I hope everything works out. Need to check my stream is doing okay. Okay, so I guess a couple things. I started this stream like way late, like an hour late. Because I was planning to stream today. Let's do like blue hair on her. I have a lot of blues. I'm gonna put this on my bed. But I kind of just was doing like everything late, like eating late and stuff like that. And so I was just kind of like, I don't know if I should stream. And then like it was like 10:20 and I was like, okay, maybe I should stream because this is actually good for you to know. I'm going to be doing some volunteering work on the weekend starting Thursday. Yeah, or just like generally busy from Thursday to Sunday. So most likely, probably I'm going to be streaming on Monday. That's like the next time you'll probably see me. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some volunteering work. And I was thinking, it's like, should I stream tomorrow? Like, should I stream tomorrow? And then like Thursday is my volunteering stuff, or should I stream right now? And then tomorrow I can have a day off and like prepare for things. So I was like thinking, and like at this point I'm like, it's already like 10:30. And I was thinking, you know what, I would like to just have a day off and like prepare for volunteering stuff, you know, with like travel and stuff. And like instead of just like doing a stream, going to sleep late, and then like having to just wake up. So I'd rather just like have the stream very late today. Having myself sleep late. So yeah. I'm like thinking like, where should I put these? Oh, this is dusty crusty. Yeah. These are what the Prismas look like. Very pretty. And then like the very thins, I don't know if I can show because it's in like this they kind of look like that. Like that. There's like some cool colors in here, but it's mostly like really dull. Oh, I should probably get rid of the gain on this one. My mic probably sounds very loud because last time I was slouching, so now that I'm not, I can just like put the gain down. Just somewhere in the middle, I guess. Just make sure it's just in the yellow. Okay, that sounds a little too quiet. Okay, there we go. But yeah, but I had these Prismas like since I was very young. When you're like an artist, everyone wanted like the cool like art supplies, like the Copics and stuff, and like the Prisma colors and all the Faber-Castell stuff. And these were just from like my high school, pretty much. Just pull these out. I'm just gonna put this right beside my bed and then just try to pick them out from there. So I'm thinking just maybe something like blue hair. Yeah, growing up I was the same. Yeah, I was like, I've always wanted Copics. Oh, that's a hair. Excuse me. See, listen, having long hair, like, it just falls out a lot, okay? Or, like, it falls out normally, it's just like when it's long, it just seems like like hair falls out a lot. Whatever, it's hair, okay? Human nature. And then I went digital, yeah, because in digital you could just do everything. But I've been thinking, I was like, I kind of like watching people doing traditional stuff, and I was like thinking maybe I should get back into it. So yeah. I'm just kind of trying to figure out the skin color. This looks like a blendy, like a blend tool. Very gray. And probably we won't be like finishing this coloring sheet, so but I also do kind of have to get up somewhat early in the morning tomorrow, so I have some melatonin on the side to help with just like the sleep and stuff. So for the skin, I want to do brown skin, so my color theory is not that good, so I'm just gonna pull out whatever browns I have right here and just see what works. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I had these specifically, I had these very thins for like so long. Dark brown, rouge. Should have brought some like paper to like test out or whatever. I'll use the back of the paper actually. So the paper I used is actually like my special paper, I'd call it. It's like when I because with commissions I offer like an 8.5 by 11 print option with a fee, and this is like the special paper. This is like the paper that I use to print those. And I used my special paper because thin paper is annoying. And even when you have like a very textury desk, because of how thick it is, it won't like show up on the paper. Let's just do some testing. Okay, yeah, that's really red. You probably can't see it, but you know, I guess. All good. Yeah, the thing is the brown is the only ones in the very thins. So this is very like sharp, I guess. Oh, wait, except for like this color, except for that one. But it's like very gray and gross. Okay, yeah, this is good. Like if you fade it out, it looks like a nice skin color. But I'll keep these on the side. Yeah, this one. I'll just remind myself. Flip around. Also with the whole camera situation, I tried to figure out how to get it to connect to like an Ethernet or whatever, just like through cable or whatever. People are like, yeah, you can't do that on the app that I use. Since I use Android, I have to use like something else. But I assume it's just like for the pro version of this app and not just like the regular version. So we're just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. This is the right color, right? Yeah. And I got this inspiration for doing like coloring sheets because of the phone that I have. It's like a new phone. And it's a phone that I never had a phone with like a pen in it. So when I had the chance to upgrade my phone, I was like, let me just get like a nice good upgrade, something I've just never like had before ever. So I got a nice big phone with like a pen in it, and I've been just kind of using the pen to like do like coloring sheets that they offer, that Samsung offers. Like they have like this app where it's like coloring sheets or whatever. just see. Okay, good. But yeah, so like I was just like doing those, and then yeah, because I sometimes like to do it like when I'm, I guess, listening to something, or like it's good like when you're in the car and you just want to do something, or if you're just somewhere. And yeah, coloring, like adult coloring sheets kind of thing have been like a thing. So like I kind of got inspiration from that. For some reason my chat is not showing up. I'm just gonna have to check something. That's weird. Sick me or nervous. Do I have to refresh my thing? Refresh. Yeah, that should probably do something. I just use my PC for digital, yeah. Because yeah, when you do digital, it's like everything, you can do everything on there. So it's like, why buy, you know, $200 worth of pencil crayons and stuff? Or in Canada, we call it pencil crayon. I'm pretty sure in America, it's colored pencils. Yeah. But I've been like watching a lot of like traditional stuff. And it's just like very interesting to me to like see that, and I'm like, I kind of like when I did do like a little bit of like traditional stuff like here and there, I did like the feeling of it, you know? And I just like kind of missed that feeling. It's just like, yeah, obviously when I was like a teenager, I did that a lot. I did all that stuff. It just kind of feels more satisfying when you're done. Like I literally have this canvas sitting here that I've like gessoed and everything because I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna like go back and use acrylics and stuff. And it's just still sitting there, and I'm just like, but like I get it, it's still sitting there because I get the whole like, okay, you have to like get up and like sit and like do all of that. With like digital, it's like canvas ready for you, just go and draw. Which like digital also has that same thing of like having to sit there and make the art, but with traditional, it's like, especially with paint, it's like the worst, because then like sometimes you need to like wait for the paint to dry or something like that. So yeah, also with like the painting, I planned it so that way um this color is probably not showing up on camera, but I assure you it's a nice shade of brown. um like how I like to do it is like I like to make the drawing first in digital, and then I would like use it, like print it and then transfer it on like tracing paper and then trace it onto the canvas, which yeah, it's like very like tedious, so that's why I like don't want to do any sort of like painting right now, because I don't want to go through all that. And if you're like a real like professional acrylic painting or like painting of whatever, people invest in like projectors, so they just project their sketch onto the canvas and then trace it from there. But there's like a lot of like painters that I've been kind of seeing on YouTube that like get recommended to me, and then I just go into like this rabbit hole of like traditional paintings. And it's like, oh, I want to kind of go back into that. Some like paintings I've been very interested is like gesso, because it's kind of like this mix of like acrylic and watercolor, so you can get like that acrylic feeling, but you can like water it down and like turn it into watercolor, which yeah, painting traditionally is a whole pain in terms of time. Yeah, for sure. Because even like when I was gessoing the canvas, like that was just like a pain of like having to spread it out and then like wait for it to dry, sand it, do another layer, wait for it to dry, sand it, do another layer, wait for it to dry, sand it. And like you could probably just do one layer and sand it, but for me I prefer to do layers. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so gessos. Because with acrylics, it's like, yeah, you can water it down if like you want to. It's not that bad to use water with acrylics. A lot of people do it, but with like gesso, it was like made to be watered down. Um, so it just like spreads out better than like an acrylic would. It's like a little bit more vibrant. Because acrylic is like plastic, right? So like when you put water into it, it might not dry down nicely or react nicely to water. I think you can get like an acrylic medium, but yeah, gessos are like really cool. I kind of like the whole combo with like the watercolor, uh, like the watercolor pencil crayon mix. Um, I don't have watercolors, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I can just do some like watered down acrylics and then put like pencil crayons on top of it. But sometimes just like the process of traditional art just feels nice, you know? Like just sitting there doing art feels nice. I'm not sure where her scleras would end. Something like this, I guess. Sure. Yeah, blending with these is a little hard because they're thin. You can probably see like where the strokes are. But today was pretty hot per usual. There's some areas where it's going to be 40 degrees Celsius. Not in my area, more in like the back door area, like the middle of nowhere places where it's like a lot of forest. I have watercolor crayons and pencils. I don't think I'll ever use them. I mean, same here. I've had these pencil crayons like since I was in high school and I still kept them and now I'm like, "Oh, I want to use them again." Oh, maybe I can do some cross hashing, that'll help. But you never know. It looks a little better. Yeah, I'm gonna refresh my little thingy. Curious why it just won't work. Okay. That's weird. I have some like watercolor pencil crayons. That's kind of cool, so it's like more precise. But yeah, I my main like medium when I was in high school was like using watercolors because a lot of my favorite artists were using watercolors at the time. I don't know if you know who Laura Zombie is, but she was like iconic for that, for the watercolors. I don't think she used watercolors. I think she just like watered down paint, but like regular paint. She didn't use like actual watercolors, but she was famous for like that watercolor look. And I like really looked up to her. I really liked her art. There's a lot of like art that I have like sitting in my closet or like underneath my bed where it's just like sketches of things that I did when I was high school that was very Laura Zombie-esque. And seeing that was kind of cool. Because I was at that time I was like being very like creative and stuff, and I feel like nowadays I don't really feel it, you know? Like it's hard for me to be like kind of creative, I guess. Yeah, that looks okay. And plus I remember going to Michael's and like seeing like a clearance on like Faber-Castell pencil crayons for like it was like there's like $200 pencil crayons for like $90 or something, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of a steal though, to be honest. But it's kind of interesting seeing the younger generation nowadays and how they're like seeing art nowadays, because there's some they have so much like resources now. I feel like a lot of teenagers are like so much better at art than I was when I was younger. So I'm just kind of jealous in a way, I guess. Because I don't know about you, growing up in like the art community a long time ago, like the early 2010s, there was like this lot of emphasis on like what I don't like is people not learning traditional and just going digital art. Yeah, I guess. I think a lot of, yeah, again, like I said, like a lot of younger kids are just kind of going into digital art right away, which they can still learn how to like do like anatomy and stuff. But I guess like traditional art can help with like the feeling of art and stuff like that. And traditional art can also like force you into learning better. Because with digital art, you could just like erase the thing really easily. As of like, sometimes with traditional, it's like when you make the mark, you make the mark. So just learning how to be confident and stuff. When I talk to people around my age who do art, they have like zero fundamentals. Digital art breeds bad habits so much. Yeah, it does. But I guess it depends, like no, wait. No, I got that thought right. I mean, I guess it feels like when you're an adult, that's kind of what it feels like personally to me, because it's like sometimes I would see artists that would be very like confident in their skills, but they're not really that good per se. But that just kind of feels like it was me when I was younger. That's kind of what I would used to do, what I used to do of like thinking I was so good at art. I remember I used to like sign up my art into like very prestigious DeviantArt groups that would like only accept certain types of art that was like very well done. And I thought my art was so good that I would just like put it in thinking I'm like, oh yeah, look at this, beautiful. But then over time, obviously, I was like, okay, I actually need to learn something. And now, right now, in my age, I'm kind of just like, I want to do whatever I want. I don't care. But then maybe in the next couple years, I'm like, maybe I should take like some like anatomy courses or something just to brush up. So it really depends, right? Sometimes it's like the goals of some people. Like they just don't really care about what it looks like. They just like to do art and stuff. And like I guess it doesn't really bother me because I just don't, if that's their volition, that's how they want to do it, fine. And if they don't like their anatomies that way, well, there's way to fix it, right? So that is me. I don't know how I'm going to, I'm kind of scared using the more darker browns for like shading. I probably would just like go in with this one, just go in a little darker than usual. I'm a bit in between. I actually learn, but I still do what I want to do since I'm not actually enrolled into any classes. Yeah, I think part of like going to art classes and stuff, it kind of forces you to learn and stuff. As if like when you're doing it on your own volition, it's like you have to force yourself to learn and like take classes, or like watch tutorials, for example, or something like that. Um, yeah, but like yeah, a lot of like kids, they just kind of like want to do what they want to do. Um, it just makes me think of when I was like a kid. Like I thought I was like the greatest artist ever. I thought I was so good. Um, and I still have all of my sketchbooks from like years ago, except for one sketchbook, which I'm kind of sad about, because like I don't even remember what's like in there, so that like makes me sad. Um, and I just like look back and see what I used to draw, and I'm like, damn, I really thought I was hot shit. Like thinking I can just get away from not learning anatomy. Um, and like I said, right now it's just like I don't really seek to do that right now. Um, but like maybe in the future I will start to maybe take some courses or something. Because right now, like I don't see myself working for like a company where they need my skills or something. So I'm just kind of chilling until I want to work for like a game company. I'd be like, um, probably would take some courses where I messed up there. That's okay. There's like certain areas on this pencil where it's like nice and flat, but sometimes I would not know where those are, so it's all like scratchy and stuff. Um, what if I just go a little deeper? Okay, that looks pretty good. Because I'm a little scared to use like the rest of these darker browns here. Or like, I don't even think I'm ever gonna use this. It's like very gray. But I feel like that's like a blending tool, not really a color. Yeah, I can't really do anything with the eyes because these are like little cute little eye like wait, no. So this is the shine. I think these are like the actual eye thing. I want to do the hair blue. Yeah, I think I'll just do the eye blue as well. Let me just get a nice blue. I always had a learning outlook in terms of art. Like it was easy to be on top of class early, but to impress myself, I wanted those higher level stuff. I think my drive to get better at everything is how I keep my ego down because I'm never good enough in my eyes until I accomplish the goal. Sorry, my chest had like a pain for like 2 seconds. Yeah, for sure. It's hard to, it's like, it is hard to like learn for fun, for me personally. And like always shooting for higher stuff can be very like taxing and like can burn you out easily. It could also give you like self doubt of like, oh, I could just never be enough, like the imposter syndrome kind of thing. Especially when I was like growing up, I was like the art kid growing up, so like people expected me to have that level of artsiness in me. And yeah, I think it's something like imposter syndrome, I think you're talking about. Let me do the neck here. Yeah, which like a lot of artists deal with, and like it ends up being very like unhealthy for them because they'll like overwork themselves or they don't even like go back into doing art at all kind of thing. Because like art, it's like there's a lot of competition, right? So you have to learn how to stand out. And sometimes with art too, it's like as long as you make something that's like marketable, you probably don't need to focus so much on like anatomy because you can make something that's marketable, which equals like profit. There's no like shade on that. There's a lot of artists that are successful that don't really do that type of art and stuff like that. Imposter syndrome is not feeling not belonging in your place. I don't really have that anymore. I'm sure I belong where I am. I just push to do more. Yeah, it's like something like that. I'm pretty sure there's like something like that where it's like you're constantly like, yeah, like looking for the top, have like a huge drive for things, but feeling like you're not enough and you have to keep going. I feel like that was imposter syndrome, but I might be wrong. So yeah, like for me, it's like learning anatomy and stuff. I feel like it was holding me back because it felt like art wasn't like fun anymore, and I just kind of want to do art that was like fun, and not feel like a chore, you know, just not feeling like a job I have to do. And so that's why kind of my art kind of went into like this very anime-y direction, which my art was always anime. I was just very inspired with like a lot of the shonen stuff, which requires you to know a little bit more about anatomy. And so I just decided, you know what, just like screw it. I'm just gonna do like something a little bit more unrealistic. Because I was just like not having fun with art and like I wasn't really improving when it came to like how I painted and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know what to say about it because I think I already talked about it on stream. There's many people I know I could do better than, but they simply have better marketing and stronger online presence. Yeah. That's something that's been just kind of on my mind. Because like that's why I kind of started doing VTubing, because a lot of people really like the idea that it's very just like the branding is very strong. Um and the like marketability is very strong. It's just I'm trying to look for the flat side on this. There it is. Yeah, and there's a lot of artists that I've seen in like anime conventions that do like really cute things, and that's how they get a lot of their money, which I'm not like mad about, of course. There's like a lot of people that do kind of put their anger onto artists like that make a profit from maybe doing like cute little, I don't know, something that's not very extravagant, I guess. It is, and people like knowing who they support. Yeah. Yeah, I remember I do watch this VTuber where he used to do like just normal streaming with his normal face, and then he switched to VTubing because the branding was just so strong. Because like I'm not gonna draw your real life face, but I will draw like your character's like face, because there's like these cool outfits on this lore that's behind it, right? And I just like the idea of representing myself with something very cool. So um yeah. For the longest time I wasn't really into VTubing, especially when it started to happen, like during COVID and stuff. Like I kind of understood it, but I just wasn't really into it. And I had this like realization of like it's just because there's just no VTubers who are just like me. Like I just wanted a VTuber who was like me, which maybe that's like ego, but I'm talking about like maybe like an outfit like what I wear. It's like I couldn't find someone like that, or I couldn't find someone who just had that like vibe that I liked. You know, I'm not against like VTubers who have like a character or a story, because like that's also really good marketing and stuff, and people like the idea of having lore and story. But then like it just doesn't feel real, and I like realness. And when I see fakeness, it's just like I just can't resonate with it. I just feel weird watching it. So that's why I also started VTubing, because I just wanted someone who was like me. And if you don't see something in the world that you want, just make it yourself. I think that's like what the quote said, right? Just be the person that you want to see in the world, or something like that. I think Gandhi said that. Yeah, I get that. That's how I ended up here. I literally just saw the model and the art was so cool, so I pulled up. Yeah, I remember you're saying that. So like that was really like that made me feel like I know like I'm doing something right here, because people who aren't into VTubing are looking at my model and being like, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool." And then they come by the stream and they're like, "Oh, this person's actually pretty cool," or whatever. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times VTubing has it's like it's like their own niche. It's like a niche within a niche, and it's really hard for someone to get into unless you're really, really deep into that whole thing. Because like anime is like, okay, like anyone can get into it. Like it's not very specific. Maybe yeah, there are like parts of the anime community which are like questionable, where it's like, okay, like I'm into anime, but I'm not like that person. And then like I feel like VTubing is so deep into it that I get if someone who watches anime and they're like, yeah, I watch anime, but I can't even get into VTubing. Like I kind of get it. I don't know if that explains anything. And there are a lot of like indie VTubers out there that are just like kind of what I do, just like similar vibe. I don't know, especially when it came to like outfits and stuff, it's just like I didn't really find anything that was like me, so I just did it myself. And I always contemplated on like doing streaming for a very long time. And when VTubing came around, I was like, okay, well this is probably a good way for me to do it. I kind of like the idea of doing it. Oop. Let me see. Let me just go back here. Yeah, all of these are way too cool toned. I'm gonna try like this crimson red maybe, just to add some sort of color. Let me just do some swatching, I guess. I've been too, but I still haven't not become a streamer. Yeah, definitely like take your time. I would definitely recommend just like watching videos of like people who give like streaming advice, people teaching you how to set up things, watching videos of people talking about streaming and being like, what's the way to do it? Because you'll never know if you like it if you don't like start, right? I think I could work with this red. Yeah, on camera it seems like very pale because I have the light here and it's looking pretty pale. But I assure you it's a beautiful brown woman. Maybe like northern brown, northern Indian kind of thing going on here. Because that's what I did. It's like I just wanted to try it and see if I liked it, and I liked it. It kind of started with like me doing a lot of art stuff, just like going to like art. God, what am I saying? Just like doing art and like maybe talk to people while I'm doing it and stuff. And it was a moment of like, you know, I just want to try it, especially since I'm just like home all the time, and just like try to do something and see what like happens with it. Because you never know, right? But I would suggest, yeah, just think about like the marketing and the branding, I guess, and just like focus on making sure that the layout is pretty clean, I guess, because a lot of people when they go to streams, like they want to see that it's like nice to look at, which I'm not saying I have the best setup in the world. I have the best like look. I think I can do better. I just have to like work on it, but it can be simple as just like having the chat on the corner, and you could just be like a faceless streamer if that's like VTubing is not your thing, or like face streaming it your thing. And just have something clean like that. I don't know. I'm lucky that I can do like some layouts and stuff because I am an artist, so I have like an idea of like how it like works in general and how to set it up and how to make things look cool. But yeah, I think the hardest part with streaming is just trying to be entertaining all the time. Because even though I am like streaming art and stuff and being like talking to people, but when I don't have people in my chat, like you have to think about like, okay, I have to start like talking like a madman, talking like I'm insane. I would definitely not be showing my face. I mean, yeah, I think like streaming with no face is also the niche in itself. Like a lot of people actually don't do that. So it could be like kind of interesting. But yeah, the hardest part for me, like I still struggle with, is just trying to be entertaining and just talking when no one's there. And just like talking to yourself and giving yourself like therapy while like no one's watching you. You're just, for the longest time, you're going to be speaking into a void. Just trying to find ways to just continue conversation and keep up conversation, because in any second someone could be going into your stream and they're going to spend 10 seconds in there and they're going to leave because you're not talking all the time. Yeah, I like my internet anatomy. Yeah. And I think that's why VTubing kind of got big, because it's like I like that people like the idea of the anatomy of being a VTuber, but also having something there for people to look at, kind of thing. And as like an artist too, I've always been like very like just like interested in like the whole character thing in general. Like I think I mentioned it before. I did my whole like art career, I guess. I've always really wanted to do like character art, like character concept art for like video game companies, but I don't want to anymore. And it was just kind of right in my alley. Like character creation is like my thing, so yeah, just be the change you want to see in the world kind of thing, I guess. That's my lesson for today. Yeah, I would just hate it because when I go to the volunteering place, they're probably gonna tell me like, because I'm gonna be volunteering for an anime convention. So if the conversation of like streaming and stuff comes up and I just so happen to blur out that I stream, because I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh no, I don't stream. I just like, just like being like, oh my god, like what's your stream thing? And it's like, okay, like I don't want to say no, but I don't know. It's weird to explain it. It feels like streaming without streaming. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't read the top comment. I'm in a community that would actually give me a base because I already have been in so many streams gaming and speaking to people, but not streaming on my own. Okay, so it's just like the idea of like, like kind of hosting yourself is a little like kind of scary, because like it's kind of like in your hands, while when you're streaming with other people, it's kind of like, okay, you're just there. So just do whatever, because it's not really gonna be you that's gonna be like, that's gonna get the fall or whatever. I don't know how to explain that. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing volunteering at an anime convention this weekend. So, and it's an anime convention that I kind of go regularly, so I'm pretty familiar with it. Yeah, I guess to do it myself is harder for me to make the jump. I hope that goes well for you then. Yeah, I've been doing the anime volunteering stuff. I think that's what you're referring to. For a while, for a couple years now. Obviously during COVID, for a couple years I didn't do it, but kind of going back into it, and yeah, it's like it's really fun, like volunteering for anime conventions and not like attending them, because you're just like part of everything, and that's how you like helping people enjoy their time there. It's very satisfying. But yeah, just making small talk with people and stuff, and like also with like the therapy stuff, just like seeing kind of like how I can like cope with situations like that, like being in big crowds and stuff, and like testing out the things that I've learned and stuff like that. I think I'm kind of done with the skin. I know like on camera it's like very pale, but I assure you there's color here. Let's do something fun like the hair. So I'm gonna put away the browns for now. Like I said, I'm gonna do blue because I have a lot of blues, so get rid of the reds. And that's where I kind of found a lot of my like lessons of like how to speak to people, because that was like one thing that I struggled with when going to like places and like trying to talk to people, is like learning how to carry conversations and like learning how to talk. So going to these volunteering places kind of helps with that, and trying to like make conversations and stuff. Let me pull out all the blues. A lot of these are like tricky because these are just like indigos, like purples, like not really blues. Marine. This one's like a navy, but oh, it's like an indigo. Should I count that? Blue indigo. For now, I'll just do some testing. Especially since like with like my positioning, it's like I'm probably gonna be standing beside someone for a very long time, and so like just awkwardly standing there while not saying anything. So just learning how to break ice and like stuff like that. And because I haven't been volunteering in a while, I'll just see if my talking abilities are good. These are beautiful like sea colors, because it's like this is like a sea set or something like that. From like the picture from the tin, so that's pretty. This is the most blue hair you'll ever see in your life. And I asked for like a day off on one of the times. And on those times, I'm gonna go with my cousin because she's like into anime and stuff. Like she started to get into anime, and so it's like really cool to go to anime convention every year with her. These are all the blues. There's probably dog hair on here. Just ignore it. I have a decent number of colored pencils, but I usually use markers and normal graphite. Yeah, markers are really nice too, like the layering on them. It kind of has like that watercolory effect, and you can like layer it very nicely. A lot of times you need to get like special marker paper for that. When I used to do like graphite drawings, I wouldn't get like pencil paper, like the one with a lot of tooth in it, because that's what usually they are. I usually get like marker paper because it's very smooth and it doesn't and you can blend easily with the graphite, so that's a hack for you if you want to try out. So these are the blues I got. Man, so many blues. I don't even know how to like start. Like, what's the base blue? I have many different kinds of paper. Yeah, I don't like the normal graphite pencil paper. I prefer the marker paper for pencils. I just don't like tooth. I don't like the tooth in my paper. I understand that it's supposed to hold things, like it's supposed to hold the graphite or whatever, but I hate it. Ooh, okay, let me actually, so this one is a B. Cool. Yeah, these gloves, I don't know if you can see through them. They're kind of wet and sweaty right now. But it's better than the leather gloves. I'm very familiar with the traditional, thank you, Lee, so I've tried lots of different papers to see what works for me best. I actually do like the teeth of my paper for the most part. I prefer smooth paper. I like the blendability with the graphite and the marker paper. And then I would just probably seal it with like a sealer or something, which I haven't found too much success. Like I've seen people who do like graphite drawings and like, yeah, just get like the sealer for like paper and then it'll be fine. But every time I use it, it like wrinkles up even after I like tape it. So maybe I do need to use like an actual pencil paper in that case. Cobalt turquoise. Oh, that's pigmented. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, speaking of pigmented, I was like practicing my makeup today too. Because color correcting my face with foundation is very hard. This looks very pretty. Light aqua. That's very pretty. I just love blues. There's something about blues that I love. I love how it looks on my skin. It's the colors of my walls. So many varieties of different blues. I love it. Blue poon. That's funny. Okay. I actually do like the teeth in my paper for the most part, hot press. I don't wear makeup myself, but I do practice it in art because I do different styles on portraits that I draw. Yeah, like makeup is basically just like art, but like for your face. But I've been recently getting into makeup because it's something I never really did. Blue indigo. When I was like younger, like a teenager, it didn't really pique my interest until I got really older. The key difference is like when I got older, when I was much more happier with myself, I decided to delve into makeup, which like a lot of guys will convince you that girls do it because they're insecure or whatever, or they're trying to like get guys with their makeup, but I assure you girls do it because they like to do it. And I love it when girls come up to me and they ask me what I put on my face, like, oh, like what's that lip color, what's that cheek color, I love it on you, I want to try it out. And so I like that over, you know, I mean, like, I do appreciate when a guy also, like, looks at makeup and, like, acknowledges, it's like, oh, like, your makeup looks really nice. Because when you acknowledge that the makeup looks really nice, that's very, like, very nice for you to say. Because I do work hard on my makeup. It takes a while. I like to spend, like, an hour on my makeup because I'm just that girl. So yeah, when I was very electric blue, yeah. So when I got more confidence in myself, that's when I started to wear makeup. It ain't the other way around. um, but I just like practice my makeup a lot because my skin color is so difficult, has like 4 different shades in it. So it's hard to find a foundation match. You have to think about the base color, then you have to think about the undertones, and then like additional undertones you might have. Yeah, I think it's easier for me to notice and appreciate the makeup because I see it as another art form. Yeah. I mean, you got to prime your face first. Well, first, before you even prime, you got to get into a skincare routine so that way the makeup goes on nicely. And like a skincare routine, you have to work on that for like months for it to like kind of work on you and make a difference in your skin. And then you have to prime your face, and depending on your skin type, certain types of primers, people set up their face a certain way. For me, I use like a putty primer to fill in the pores. There's like oily people that would like set their primer on, so it can either be like a gel or a putty, and then they put powder on top, and they use a setting spray to set that powder and melt it into the skin. So it's like a nice even layer, and because they have oily skin, it's not gonna make their makeup sweat. Like there's this whole science and theory to makeup as well. And you got the foundation, you got the blush, you got the lipstick. You got to figure out what lipstick colors could look good on you because your skin color has like skin theory to it, or like you can't just put the same shade that a white person puts it on compared to like a brown person. And then you have like mascara, maybe a cool eye look. There's different formulas with eyeshadows. Some are very bad, some are very good, and a lot of the good ones are like $100 a palette or something. And you got to learn how to set it. Do you want powder? Are you very oily? Do you want to set it with powder? Or do you want to set it with just setting spray? And people argue on how you should set your makeup. It's a whole thing. Skin is the hardest canvas by far. Yeah, I think with makeup, you just kind of have to accept that you're putting like paint on your face, and makeup is gonna. That's like the quote that like a lot of makeup people say is like, makeup is makeup. It's gonna look like makeup. You can make it as like skin-like as you can possible. Pack the powder on there, pack the setting spray on there, put more powder on there so it fills in the pores, but you're just gonna wipe it off at the end of the day. Hopefully you're gonna wipe it off at the end of the day. There's some people who sleep in their makeup. But there's a whole theory to it, right? There's a reason why people go to school for it. And I just like that process. And I just like collecting cute makeup because it's cool. I don't know which one to. I kind of want to do like the fatty ones for like the base because they are like rounder, so it's easier to lay it down. So that might be easier. I think this one, it was the electric blue, right? I think I'll just start with the electric blue. Flip. I'm trying to think how I do this digitally. Do I start up here or do I do it here? And sometimes like with makeup and stuff, it's just like it's like nice therapy, right? So just like sometimes when I'm just feeling down or I feel like I need to distract myself from stuff, I just like doing my makeup because it's just like very therapeutic, right? You're just kind of sitting there doing stuff, putting makeup on, like very relaxing to do. It's a very relaxing thing to do. It's like similar to that's how art and movies are for me. Yeah, like sit down and just like relax and stuff. Let me just get some water. Every time I get water, I have to do like a weird voice. Got to get some water. Maybe because when I talk about water, I'm talking to my dog. So I think that's just me talking to my dog, getting water. I don't do this all the time, but I also build Gundams as well. And I find that Gundams is kind of similar to like doing makeup, where it's just like you kind of sit down and relax and like build a robot or whatever. Um, but yeah, the thing is like makeup is more accessible to me, so um, getting Gundams is a little harder for me. um, yeah, but I am going to obviously an anime convention event this weekend. So hopefully I can find like a Gundam for a good price that I can build. I would actually love to build that on stream. I think that'll be really fun to watch. Which sucks because this this phone tends to want to crash a lot, which I think I jinxed it, but yeah, that'll be really fun stream to do. But the thing is, like, I don't have a lot of room for them. So, like, if I think about getting a Gundam, it's like I don't even know where to put it. But I do really want one. I usually get the high-grade Gundams. Those are, like, pretty small Gundams, but they do have, like, a level of detail to them. And those were the Gundams that I started with, were, like, the high-grade ones. I think it's, yeah, the high grades. There is a grade lower than that. They are, like, pretty basic, though. I was thinking, I was like, where did I mess up on like the highlights? I'll just do something like this. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of, yeah, I barely have room in my room for anything. I want to try building one, but I also have other stuff I want to buy first. Yeah. You know, like there's this whole like Lego thing going on where people are like getting Legos and building. And I'm like, okay, but have you tried building a Gundam though? Like Gundams are honestly kind of cooler. I'm not really a Lego person, but I feel like Lego is just a little bit more accessible. I'm gonna go to work on some character designs, by the way, so I may respond slowly. Oh yeah, no problem. I'll just talk and talk and talk. It's okay. Yeah, you don't have to say sorry about like not being here because it's like I'm just gonna be rambling anyway. I don't need to have like someone here to help me keep the conversation going. Not to be like offensive and be like, I don't need you here, but like honestly, it's okay. Yeah, I'm just not really into Legos because I did Gundams, and so that's like a little cooler to me. I don't know, it's like when you tell someone it's like, yeah, I build Gundams, it's like a little bit more impressive than Legos personally. I feel like it's like the equivalent to like Funko Pops. It's like, why get a Funko Pop when you can get like something better quality, like a Nendroid? Which I understand Nendroids are like way more expensive, than probably like you know, compared to like say a Lego set and a Gunpla set. But Nendroids are just better quality. You can actually like switch out their faces and pose them and stuff like that. And it's like worth the investment kind of thing because of the quality of it. When you have a Funko Pop collection, it's like I don't feel like that's cool. Which I do, like, not to, like, right, like, I have Funko Pops, like, don't get me wrong. I just don't really collect them that much. I can actually count how many Funko Pops I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And technically 11, but the 11 one kind of broke, so it's just kind of sitting in my closet. Which I think is not that bad for the amount of Funko Pops I have. And like I'm also like picky on my Funko Pops too because it's like they have to look good as well, you know? So some of the Funko Pops I have were either given to me because the person didn't want it anymore or I just bought it myself. The first Funko Pop I got was a Thor Funko Pop. This was back when like Marvel was like a thing. Like going on that everyone was into and I was into as well, and I got a Thor Funko Pop. And this is an old classic Funko Pop back when it had like the bobbly head on it. So that's like old school Funko Pop. And now they obviously, yeah, they don't have the bobble on them anymore, which I feel like it loses its like novelty, I guess that's the word, because I liked it because it was a bobblehead, and now that it's just like figures, I'm just like not that into them anymore. But there are like Funko Pops that I have that I got because I'm a huge like Cowboy Bebop collector. So I have Cowboy Bebop little Funko Pops. I have one of Vicious and of Spike. And then I have a Kylo Ren Funko Pop that was given to me, which I wasn't too into Star Wars, but I'm like, whatever, I'll just like keep it. And then I have an Aaron Yeager Funko Pop, which was gifted to me. And then I have a Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop, which I actually bought because I just liked the idea that it was fuzzy, so I just got the fuzzy one. And then I got this Daedric Armor Funko Pop that was gifted on Christmas. And then I have this Hatsune Miku Funko Pop, like the glittery Funko Pop of Hatsune Miku, but because everything was held up by her pigtails, like one of them broke off. So I just have it in my closet because it was gifted to me, but it's broken, so I didn't like throw it out or anything. I might fix it. Like I think I could just like Gorilla Glue it back together. But like the super sparkly Funko Pop of Hatsune Miku is like a meme in the community because it just looks, it's not like the prettiest Funko Pop, to be honest, especially when it comes to like anime characters. Like Funko Pop just does not do it right. It just looks really weird. But I do have one Android of this character from this game that like nobody plays. I just saw it in the EBX, or in Canada there's like this game, like it's like a, or maybe it's still in America. It's like a branch of like GameStop called EBX. I don't know if anyone has heard of that. But I just saw it at the EBX. And I was like, wow, this is like a game that I feel like no one has played, but I'm seeing it in this EBX right now. I need to the game is called Token Rambu. My Japanese is not that good. It's just like this it's a very like nichey game where it's like you collect these sword boys and like you battle on like in like war, and you like fight people, but it's not that cool because it's just like a picture of them fighting, and then like that's it. I don't know, like, I can't explain it, but the whole thing about it is that they're very like pretty sword people. So it's supposed to be like a historical game where it's like all of like the katanas and all these type of swords that existed in Japanese history, and they anime-fied them pretty much. I think like out of all of the weird anime things that I'm into, it's probably that. And it's, yeah, like when you see it, it's like, oh, this is just a game for girls to swoon over boys, and yeah, that's what it is. But it's like it's a free to play game, free to play game that you can play like on their special website. There is like a girl equivalent to it. I think it's called Kantai Collection, I think that existed before Token Rambo. I'm not really sure. But Kantai Collection is similar to, is pretty much the same as Token Rambo, except it's not swords, it's like battleships or something. Like Japanese battleships or something like that. And like, I don't know. Maybe even if you're a straight guy, I think you can get into Token Rambo more than you could get into Kantai Collection. because like I'd imagine you'd prefer cool Japanese swords over battleships. I don't know. It's a weird. It was. I was just surprised because it was like a weird niche little game that I thought like not even like my friends play. And I don't play it too much either, but I saw it. I was like, I'm gonna get this, and this was like my first Nendroid I ever had. And obviously, yeah, I mean, it trumps all the Funko Pops that I have altogether, so it looks really good. Yeah, I have to be careful with the highlights here because I don't want to mess it up. I don't have an eraser with me. Also, I brought some like melatonin with me just in case. Because I kind of do need to wake up a little early because it starts getting hot like around 8 a.m. and I have to get early so I can take my dog out so she's not like dying of heat when she's going out. So I brought like melatonin because for some reason melatonin, it helps, like it makes you sleep better, obviously, but they always like warn you. It's like make sure you sleep earlier than usual because melatonin, like it'll knock you out really bad if you go to sleep late and then take it. But sometimes when I do like take melatonin late, and like don't take it late because you're gonna wake up like at a later time. Yeah, I feel like I didn't explain that right. But sometimes when I do take melatonin, it's like my body ends up waking up at like 6 in the morning, and I'm like, what the hell? I was supposed to like sleep until 12 in the afternoon. But we didn't have a lot of melatonin left, so I just brought one 10 milligram pill. Sorry, I'm just like looking. Yeah, I colored over the lines. It's okay. Because I have this huge shadow here, I can't really tell what I'm seeing sometimes. Maybe if I did this. Okay. That looks a bit better. Oh, that looks... visually looks better on stream. Wow. Can't believe I deprived you guys. A good looking coloring sheet. So I just like decided to take one melatonin, 10 milligrams, which is like... I usually take 20 milligrams. That's like the sweet spot for me to like have a really good deep sleep. But I heard like sleep experts are like, yeah, you should only be taking like 0.5. And I'm like, that's gonna like disintegrate and do nothing. What are you talking about? Not with my mental health. So hopefully this like 10 milligram will just kind of put me in a nice like somewhat sleepy mood. Because when it comes to sleep, I also like using a sleep mask, and I like a really dark room as well. I heard like the best way if you want the best sleep is to just get blackout curtains and a weighted blanket. So I also have a weighted blanket as well. And because like a sleep mask is good too. Sometimes it can be really uncomfortable. My sleep mask is okay, it's fine. They just say blackout curtains because sometimes the sleep mask obviously can be uncomfortable. Sometimes you need to take it off. So if you need guaranteed darkness, get blackout curtains instead. I miss my dark curtains. I need to get one again because I changed rooms. Yeah. And do you use like a weighted blanket as well to help with sleep and stuff? Because I really like that as well. Sometimes I feel like I need to like get rid of my weighted blanket just because I feel like I got used to the weight of my weighted blanket. Like my blanket is noticeably heavy, but it's not like snuggable anymore, if that makes sense. But yeah, I prefer a really dark room when sleeping. I know like my cousins, like I remember that I was talking to them about it. I don't know how old they were, but I remember they were saying like, what do you mean you sleep in an all dark room where you don't have like a little bit of light coming through? And I'm like, how are you sleeping with a little bit of light coming through? No, but I use a winter blanket and several pillows. Yeah, sometimes just like the very like heavy blanket. In Punjabi, it's called Rajai. I don't know what you would call it like in English specifically, but it's just like a big heavy blanket. It's those blankets where it's like a picture of like a lotus flower or something like that, or like a picture of like white tigers on it. Those are the blankets that like when I go to sleep, I'm dead. Like the blanket killed me. Like I'm never gonna get up ever again. Those are the type of blankets you need. Every time I sleep in those type of blankets, they're like heaven, heaven. Yes, the tiger ones, yeah. Something about the weight of those is like it's perfect. I love putting it on top of another blanket. Really good. It has like this very nostalgic feeling to it. Those are a big thing in Spanish households. Yeah, I saw a meme. Where someone's like talking about like the Hispanic blanket. It was like the the blanket with the tigers on it. It's like, oh, is this like a universal thing? We also have that in our households as well. Usually it's like pictures of flowers and stuff, but yeah. I would really love a tiger blanket though. I probably have to get those in like special stores. It seems like the tiger print like just hits a little different. Yeah, looking cute. For us, it's like a white tiger for some reason. Yeah, I gotta find myself a white tiger blanket. And I remember sleeping like at a relative's place, and it was just like it was just like a big, huge, like a huge amount of pillows, this big like bed for myself, and like two of those blankets on top, and it's like I woke up like all my organs started working, no more back pain, like my depression was gone, my acne cleared, like it was the best sleep I had in my life. Sleeping in those blankets, it's like the feeling of like, I don't know if anyone gets this feeling, but like when you're a kid and like for some reason in the middle of like after coming back from school, you like sleep on the couch with like all your clothes on, with like your jeans on and everything, and then like you just wake up with like a blanket on top of you and you're just like sweaty and clammy and like feverish a little bit, and it's like in the middle of the afternoon and like the TV's playing for some reason. It's like that feeling. I don't know if anyone has had that feeling of like waking up in like jeans and like being like, what the hell happened when you just came back from school. It's like that type of sleep. It's good sleep. But yeah, I kind of did my skincare stuff and like I like washed my face, or yeah, that's what skincare is. Or like I brushed my teeth and did all my flossing and stuff before I started stream, because I knew after stream like I was gonna be like really, really tired, and I would like really have to force myself to like get up and like do all that stuff. So yeah, and like I was doing that because I'm like, you know what, I'm already late. Might as well. This is gonna take at minimum 10 minutes to do. Which I always like floss, but I found a way that I can do it like very fast, because flossing for me, there was times where like I had like a flossing fallout where I just wouldn't floss. And I realized, oh wait, I don't have insurance for dental, so I was drawing on the long word. No, are you too far into the drawing that like you can't just control Z at all? Just control Z, control Z. No. But yeah, this is my community service of saying, guys, please take care of your teeth. Please, because I don't have dental insurance, so I have to make sure that I am keeping my teeth very healthy, and like you will regret it later on in life when you don't take care of your teeth. No, I'll just redo it. Okay, for sure. No, yeah, that really sucks, because sometimes like the stroke could be like perfect, and it's like, oh shit, wrong layer. I always end up doing stuff on wrong layers too, because when you work so long on that one layer, then you just don't really think that you have other layers. That's kind of how it works in my brain. But yeah, that's a lesson that I took very hard. Please take care of your teeth. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Flossing is very important. There's a way where you can do it where you can just like floss in like a minute. And like, sure, use like those single use ones, but if I were to use those single use ones, I would hate myself for it. So something about using those ones I just don't like. Same for me because I'm used to traditional where it's just do as you go. Yeah. For sure. I just have like a messed up brain, so like I'm just someone who just forgets. That's like one thing that I hate, that I'm such a forgetful person. I remember yesterday I went downstairs from my room downstairs to fill up my water bottle with water. Opened the lid, put it in, and then went to just do one other thing. And then I completely forgot that I like did that in the first place, and I just like went upstairs without a water bottle. And then I sat down and I'm like, wait, something's missing. And I'm like, oh my god, the water bottle. So I went downstairs and I just got the water bottle, and the lid was still off it, so I just closed it. And I was like thinking, the people downstairs, I was thinking like, they're probably thinking like, she just filled up a water bottle, left it open, and then just like did not bring it with her. Jeez. It's like that thing where it's like you think of something and then you open up Google and it's like, I completely forgot what I was trying to do. And it was like really important too. It's always the really important stuff. I think, oh yeah, this might be a little, I have that issue a lot, yeah. A lot of people have that issue of just like forgetting stuff. I wonder what's going on. I'm gonna drink some water. So yeah, my throat didn't get messed up from the last stream, if that's all concern. Because I don't think it's the way that my neck is positioned, like I theorized. I think I would sure hope not. Yeah, I think the reason why I like my throat was hurting, it's like something about scripted like writing, like that combination just like really messed with my throat. So, you know, if there's any opportunities of me being a voice actor, I'm not sure. I don't think that's gonna be healthy for me. I don't know. So like voice acting is off the table. I gotta like do some research on that or something. A very weird thing. Like that's why I feel like a little bit more comfortable doing hand cams, especially with this drawing, because my face is looking down and my throat is crunching a little bit. But I am comfortable now because I'm not doing like the reading streams. Which that kind of sucks because I kind of like the concept of the reading stream. So I'm like, man, it kind of sucked. But for my health, I just have to. She is just so cute. Hey, Tion. Yeah, it's way later than I usually stream, so. I've been thinking of doing like afternoon streams, but I am a bat, so doing things in the daylight will hurt. I don't have all the sunscreen in the world, so gotta do things late night. Speaking of sunscreen, I actually need more sunscreen. I feel like I've been using so much sunscreen nowadays. way more than I usually do. I always try to put sunscreen on at max like 3 times a day. Just really depends on your like situation. But if anyone wants some evidence that sunscreen works for your skin, yes, it does. I am living proof. Because people still think I am 16 years old and I am in my early 20s. I don't think anyone has ever spoken formal to me until they find out that I am like an adult. And then they switch up their language. They always think I'm a kid. Sometimes it's the way that you dress too. Like people will have that impression of you, the way that you present yourself. But in combination with like good looking skin. Well, okay looking skin, but I would say my skin is pretty healthy because I take care of it. But yes, sunscreen, make sure you wear your sunscreen, especially during the summer. Oh my goodness, please don't get skin cancer. I just got like some ads on like cable TV. They're like, this is how you take care of your skin. Make sure you wear like SPF. Try to stay away from the sun because it makes me think like I don't think my parents ever had like commercials like that. They talk about like, oh yeah, like make sure you're wearing a sun hat, put SPF on because of like global warming and stuff. Things are just like getting worse. Yeah, that was kind of cool to see. I always wear SPF anyways, every day, like winter, fall, spring, summer anyways. So I'm just kind of used to that. Yeah, but I hate like the false like advertisement that like sunscreen, usually like sunscreen gets, especially with like gym bros and stuff like that, like health nuts. They're like, don't wear sunscreen, it has this in it. I remember like someone told me like they usually don't wear a lot of sunscreen, or like they don't wear sunscreen at all, and they're like, doesn't like sunscreen block like vitamins out of your skin? It's like, who said that? Who said it blocked vitamins out of your skin? What kind of misinformation is that? No, the thing that gives you cancer, that's what it blocks. The UVB rays and the UVA rays. Like the sun is great, it's powerful, but like it's also a destroyer as well. It gives life, but it destroys life. That's poetic. That's a bar. That's a bar right there. I gotta save that in my brain. The sun gives life, but it destroys life as well. And like it's like skin cancer is also like, unfortunately, like a very common cancer because people don't really think about the effects that the sun can have on your skin. And it's always white people too. Like, why is it always white people that don't want to wear sunscreen yet they're the one that's most susceptible to getting skin cancer because they don't have that melanin in their skin to protect themselves? My brown ass wears sunscreen every day, 3 times a day, like 3 times a day at most, every day, clockwork, all the time. Let me do some shadowy stuff. Let's see what color. I'm gonna do some shadowy stuff with bangs. I'll use the blue indigo. What is that? Blue indigo. It's always something. It's always something with them, yeah. That's the quote of the year. Man, white people, there's always something with them. Jeez. Did you see that like TikTok of that guy? He made like he made a beef brisket, but he put it in a dishwasher to cook it. He put a beef brisket in a dishwasher to cook it and he ate it. And like, this person was white, right? And then this guy like threaded it back. And it was another white guy. And he's like, you know what? White people, white genocide. They gotta go. We're done, so. Because that's the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life, okay? White genocide right now. And he's like, you know what? I'll be a contributor. I'll be a contributor to this because I am not letting that fly. It was so funny. And I was like, I was recitating. I was like, yep. You make a beef brisket instead of dishwasher. You know, the white people gotta go. Because I don't think we should like teach them or anything. I don't think they're gonna listen. Just like, disgusting. We let you fly with the no seasoning, but you make a beef brisket in a dishwasher. Y'all deserve nothing. They always got to find a way for a new innovative method. Yeah. No, just stick with the classics, okay? Just like, oh my goodness. I don't even know. I don't even have words. I think there was like a theory on why like a lot of white people don't like season their food technically because they always grew up they had a history where the white people they always had like the quality meat and they always had like quality everything. So I guess there was no need to like season everything because everything was so up in quality. So that's why they're not used to seasoning. And except for places like for me, like India, right? Like we always seasoned everything because when people were getting sick all the time, the only way that we can get rid of the sickness was just put a bunch of spices in it. And obviously like when you're like a poor country, I don't know. I'm not too much of a history buff myself, but you know, that's why. Yeah, but I'm kind of lucky that I grew up with like I would say I kind of grew up with a very sophisticated palate because I always tasted things that were very flavorful. And so when it came to other people cooking, it's like I'm like a 7-year-old like confused why this tastes very bland. Which don't get me wrong, sometimes I do like bland things. Like my favorite type of birthday cake flavor is vanilla. I wouldn't like deny a chocolate cake, but like I prefer a vanilla cake. Like don't get me wrong. But yeah, I would even have like I remember I did like cafeteria like training stuff. Like we have like this cooking program in our school where like in like grade like the last grade you can do like cafeteria training where it's like you get to work in like a more industrial kitchen and like a lot of the food was made by students there. And I remember like the teacher asking me like he was like like making this soup thing and he asked me it's like so like what would you like put in it and stuff like does this taste good and I guess he was just being a nice student but or a nice teacher but I was like tasting it, it's like yeah this thing needs pepper because I'm like this shit is so bland, at least put some pepper in it or something. Yeah, like I grew up seeing my grandpa like when you eat tomatoes you don't eat plain tomatoes. You gotta put pepper on the tomatoes because tomatoes are good for you. Technically, I guess. I don't know what continents it has. I try to avoid tomatoes in my burgers, just saying. But he would always put peppers on it, and I grew up like always seeing that. And yeah. It's looking nice. I really like this color of blue. I really like that it's in the very thin line because the detailing, very nice. Absolutely a product of your environment, yeah. Like you grow up and you like go to school and like your mom would give you like Indian food at school and you'd be like made fun of because it's like gross and it smells bad. But little did they know. It was better than their Lunchables. Which, I mean, yeah, I was like jealous that the kids had Lunchables. But I didn't know I was a kid. I didn't realize like how much of like flavor that there was in Indian food until like I grew up. It's very nice too because Indian food is mostly vegetarian, so a lot of people can enjoy it. Very nice. Very nice. Like I swear, I feel like my dad's like tongue, like it's so like he eats like spicy, spicy, spicy. I think to the point where like his tongue is just like it does not taste a lot anymore. And so when it comes to spices, like he just like throws it on it. Like, sometimes I get scared when he starts cooking because I know like the it's gonna be way too like garlicky or way too spicy. Because I think he himself like he just does not experience a lot of like tasting anymore because he's just like yeah, he adjusted it too much. Yeah. And the thing is I like spicy, but I understand that there's a limit and I have to like take a break from it. So I'm not messing with my tongue. I think another flavor that I really love is sourness. I love sour. It seems to me like every time when I like a certain flavor, I like it to like the extreme amounts. Like I love super super salty. I love super super sour. I like really spicy stuff. I love it to the extremes all the time. But like yeah, Sour Patch Kids, my favorite thing in the world. I would just snack on those. And my sister would be so confused. It's like, how can you just snack on Sour Patch Kids? Because it's kind of like a common thing. People would get like the home-sized Sour Patch Kids and they're just like snack it while they're watching TV. It's like, I just don't understand. I'm just like, I'm a sour person. I love sour gummies and stuff like that. Yeah, like I would like thoroughly like enjoy a warhead kind of thing. I would just get like the lemon warhead and I would just put it in like no issue. This is actually very tasty. It might be cute to have some like kind of pink like ambient or maybe purple ambient like lighting. Hmm. Ooh, I have thinking. I have thinking power. I got a power thought. I'm gonna see if I have like a nice pink. I don't, but I do have like a purple. Violet de Paume. Parma violet. Oh, this is French. So yeah, in Canada, has English and French on it. So I'm like a French. I like know French so well, so like I totally knew what that was saying. What is this? Violet palm. Yeah. EP. Looks like. Oh, that's kind of vibrant. I prefer sweet tart stuff. Yeah, but sour is good to me. That's good. Oh, the drawing? Thank you. Okay, now I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble flipping it over. Hold on. Or like that's good in the sense of like I'm limiting myself to like my taste stuff. Cause it's weird, it's like sometimes I crave sour. I'm just like, I just want Sour Patch Kids. Give it to me. I heard sour Skittles are also goated as well. I'm gonna see. I'll just do a little bit because I don't want to ruin anything. A little bit of purple, maybe. But I'm personally not like a Skittles. It's because they know multiple languages. I actually don't. I was just like lying. But it's like it's kind of a flex, like going to being in like Canada and be like, I know some French, but I mean the only language I know is just English, pretty much. And I dabble in some other languages as well. For the longest time I was teaching myself French. But then for like a week I just stopped, and then when I went back into learning French, I completely forgot what I was even doing. there's some like words here and there that I've like grasped onto. Like, how do I order food? Je avec une cheeseburger, because cheeseburger is just cheeseburger. Fromage burger. Seulement un fromage or something. Cheeseburger with only cheese or something. I don't know. It's okay. Yeah, I'm the same with Spanish. You're making me crave something sour, but I won't go to the grocery store later today. Oh man, I'm sorry. It's a struggle. It's like sometimes you want something sour and like you just can't right now, and it's like, am I really gonna go to the grocery store to get a pack of Sour Patch Kids? It's kind of weird. And it's not even October. Yeah, but just with like stuff going on with like my that reminded me actually. Stuff that was going on with my like health and stuff. Because I've like said stuff like on Twitter, because I was going through some health things, and I was just like, you know, I'm not one to like share so much about like my health on social media and stuff, but there's just like stuff going on with like what's going on in my brain that like, okay, by the way, you probably can't see it, but this is like so pretty. I don't know if I can like the purple. I don't know if you can see the purple. Maybe it's all picking up on camera, but I assure you it looks really pretty. I might like post it on Twitter or something. But pretty much I lost my like driving privileges because of what's been going on in my brain. And my doctor's like, yeah, like you have to stop driving because we don't want something happen to you while you're driving. So that's also a very frustrating part, because if I want something at the grocery, like I literally can't. Good thing like the grocery store is like a walkable, but pretty much I have to get someone to drive me there, so that sucks. Like I had the ability to drive, like I have a license. I'm not allowed to, so that really sucks. I can come. Oh no, it's okay. Grocery store is a walkable distance, so. And it's just Sour Patch Kids, it's okay. So yeah, that really sucks. Sometimes if I need to like get something, right? Like I can't even do that. And of course there's like things like buses and stuff that I can use. But a car is a little bit more reliable, so that definitely sucks, yeah. It especially affects like because I am like looking for like jobs and stuff. So it definitely affects kind of like what job I'm looking for, because then now I have to think about what is like around me pretty much, and so I'm limited on what I can pick, or sometimes it's like, yeah, maybe I can pick something from far away, but I have to make sure that the bus route is reliable, and depending on the distance, maybe something like an Uber wouldn't be financially better, because you know it can be expensive for just a car ride, which I've never used an Uber before because again, like I used to drive, so I didn't really think about like Uber and stuff, but yeah. So as long as this thing in my brain is the way that it is, I no longer like can drive until I absolutely need to get like surgery on it. Then I can like maybe drive, because then they have to pull it out, and then after recovery maybe then I can drive. But I pretty much, it sucks because I have to wait till the thing gets worse. And who knows how fast it's gonna grow. So, but I think what I have right now, it's not that much of a scare. I'm pretty sure it's benign. So, nothing to worry about. I need some water. And I originally like found that out because I was experiencing like Tourette like syndrome, like a Tourette like symptoms. And so I was like talking to my doctor about it. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like I don't have a history of Tourette's with like family, so I don't know why. And so I was like, okay, let's do an MRI. And so we did an MRI and they're like, okay, so you have like a thing in your brain. It's like, oh, does this have to do with my Tourette syndromes? Tourette symptoms? And they're like, we don't know. So we'll just like get an appointment with a neurologist. Which is nonsensical to me for something that is not actively an issue to stop you from driving when it needs to be worse before acted upon. Yeah, because the issue is like it's very, very small and it seems like it's benign. And so as long as it's like that, like they saw that and they're like, yeah, so like stop driving because of where it is in the brain. So as long as it's like that, pretty much I don't have my driving privileges until it needs to be removed, which in order for it to be removed, it has to get really, really bad. So yeah. And I tried to talk to him about it. I was like, I kind of need the car for things, like for essentials and stuff. Yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting on the neurologist to see, okay, like what's going on. This is what I've originally like contacted you guys for. I'm just like kind of waiting. That's what Canadian healthcare is. It's just waiting because it's free, but you have to wait months and months for someone. Which sucks because if you're in like a bad condition, it's like, what do you mean I have to wait months and months? I'm like, and it really depends. I know people who had doctors since they were like, a kid, and they get priority top of the list because they knew them forever. That's just how it goes. But because this stuff is kind of new to me, they don't really put it in a lot of priority, if that makes sense. So I have an MRI coming up in October, which I'm like kind of priority, kind of not, because obviously they want to make sure like they want to know what this thing is first, because if you wait, something might happen to the growth. So it's like kind of like an in-between thing. So there is downsides to free healthcare. I knew it. Yeah, it's waiting game. Wait. Like you go to the hospitals here. It's like, oh, something happened to me, and you're sitting there for hours and hours and hours. There's like people that have been sitting there since like the morning, and it's like way in the afternoon, and they haven't seen someone yet. I'm drinking some water. Which is not too bad. It just like really depends on like your severity. Like if your legs snapped off, yeah, you're gonna be priority. But you're like, I got some like stomach aches, and then they're probably gonna make you wait. Because that's like with me, it's like they're like, okay, yeah, like you have this thing that's kind of concerning, but like looking at it, it's like very, very small, and it doesn't seem that bad, but also we don't want to like say it's that bad because something like this in the brain is not normal. So it's like in this weird limbo of like, yeah, you're a priority, but like it's not that severe kind of thing. So that's why I kind of like have like this waiting list going on. And I think in America, it's like, yeah, you can get a doctor right away. You just have to pay an obscene amount of money or something like that. I'm not sure how the healthcare works, but I heard it was bad. So yeah, and it sucks, especially with like mental health care, because it's like if you need like that's for people without healthcare. Oh, okay, okay. Then maybe the healthcare in America is not that bad after all, from what I'm saying. See, we both learned something. Um, yeah, it just sucks with mental health too, because when you're mentally ill, it's like, um, and you're like, you have to wait for a doctor. It's like, who knows what's gonna happen in between, right? That's like a really sucky part with like the free healthcare, like that, just waiting and waiting. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen to this person, like if they don't get their medications right away and they have to wait months and months to see a doctor, right? People always talk down on it, but there's literally plans built into jobs for and other stuff you can pay for monthly as to reduce your costs for more severe stuff. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like I also take like medication daily. So you can also get like reimbursed for that. And I don't pay as much for it anymore. Like I pay like $10 for my medication now. That's not all that bad. You know, depending if you like don't have a job, if you don't like your taxes and stuff like that, whatever. Not too well versed into it. Yeah, Canada also has like a lot of people like there's also I also still have free dental and healthcare despite being a working adult. Okay, yeah, just depending on your plan, I see. But yeah, a lot of people like recently a lot of people were discovering what MAID was. There's a thing in Canada called MAID, and people are like debating whether any of that was like ethical or whatever, and that's like a thing that pretty much exists in Canada. Yeah, mental health stuff here is crazy. Especially since like a lot of like teenagers I've heard were recommended to do MAID, which really, really sucks. Which obviously it's like their decision, right? They're not forced to do MAID, of course. That's messed up. But yeah. I think specifically in my area, like what is it? MAID? So it's assisted suicide. That's what it is. And you can sign up for it, and depending on your situation, which I don't think there's like a checklist of what needs to happen in order to sign up for MAID, but you're like, yeah, you want to sign up for it, and then when you need it, you do it. So yeah, people talk about it being like, is this like an okay thing to do, and a service that's okay to offer? But I think specifically in my area, I don't know, something about Canada. Yeah, very messed up. Yeah, I should have put like a trigger warning there or something. But yeah, I feel like that stuff was already a thing, so like I wasn't too shocked about it. I think Canada they do have like this we do have like this mental health crisis here going on. Especially in my area, it's like very drug heavy as well. Like a lot of people here use fentanyl. Like people who are obviously like not in the best living situation, or people who are prone to that. Oh, that's on some Futura. Oh yeah. You know what? When I was watching the new episodes of Futurama the other day, I was thinking about that. It's like, oh, that's like literally MAID. But I'm kind of surprised that like, I guess other countries don't do this. I feel like this was like a thing that already existed. I don't know. But it's sometimes it's really heartbreaking. It's like sometimes like teenagers are like, yeah, like a doctor suggested MAID to sign up for MAID or something because my mental health is just so down in the dumps kind of thing. really messed up. It's like for a lot of people who are like homeless or like just they don't have like people in their lives that they can fall onto, and it's like they don't really like there's no point to things anymore because they're homeless, they don't have family anymore. They probably go through like terrible pain, you know. It's like third-degree murder. Yeah, I'm pretty sure assisted suicide is illegal here. It's like third-degree murder. Yeah, usually it depends usually, right? It's like if someone's going through like a very like chronic pain that they know they're going to go through the rest of their lives. I heard some of those people like make a decision of having assisted suicide. It really depends. And then like they donate their bodies or whatever. I kind of hate that I'm talking about this very nonchalantly, but that's kind of what it is. I heard a story of someone's like, they were told by the doctors like they're gonna have this pain for the rest of their lives, and they're just like, I just, you know, I live my life, I'd rather just like, yeah, they'd rather just do that. So feel like I added way too much blue up here. But like, yeah, Americans were like, there's like a couple months ago, Americans, that's different for science still. Yeah, I think if like you do it like and you have like a reason to do it, like, oh, I'm just gonna like donate my body, then I think that would be better. But if you're like doing it because it's like I want to die, it's like, yeah, a little different. Yeah, so I think like a couple months ago, I think Americans were kind of finding out that this is something that existed in Canada. Yeah. And they were like debating, it's like, is this ethical? It's like, is this okay? Which I honestly don't really have like an answer for that. Or not like an answer, but like I don't really have like an opinion because I don't think I've ever like sat with it and thought about it. Because luckily I have never thought about doing anything like that ever. Or like, yeah, I worded that right. I'm not saying like I've never had those like thoughts like that ever. It's just like I don't think I ever thought about assisted stuff like that. So I guess I don't really have like an opinion on it. It just, yeah, I don't know. This stream kind of went on like a U-turn, I think. Very depressing U-turn. I think I'm done with this blue. Actually, no, I lied. I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah, because in my area, it's like very expensive. It's like very hard to live here. That it's like you need to work like 3 jobs in order for it to work out. And sometimes that doesn't even work out, you know, because I have conversed I've conversed in the past that it would make sense, but this would only be okay in terms of cutting numbers. We don't want, hold on, because I have conversed in the past that it would make sense, but this would only be I'm not kind of understanding your comment there. Like it'd be easier it would be easier mentally. You would have to see people as a number, not a human. Oh yeah. So like the morals of it and being like, okay, I see. Because maybe people will see like incentive in there or whatever. I think incentive is the word. I'm not sure. Because like it's weird for like a doctor to just like suggest MAID because it feels very cold and like unempathetic, and they're not really seeing you as a patient and more of like a I don't even know what the word would be. And the thing is, when you sign up for Maid, it's not like you sign up for Maid and then like this is the date. It's like I just kind of want this under my belt kind of thing. Not saying that's gonna soften the blow, just like that's just kind of how it works. Because then you get into the thought of like, okay, so like, then how do we not get people to sign up for Maid? Then it's like, it's a conversation of like mental health that people always want to have a conversation about, but then do nothing about it kind of thing. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad that I like brushed my teeth and stuff before I started stream because yeah, I can see myself just like flopping onto the bed after this. But which I'm not that tired. I'm just kind of like happy that I did that. Because sometimes I don't and then I just realize, oh, I gotta brush my teeth and do my skincare. Kind of confused what I want to do in the top. It's like a battle between cutting numbers and ethics, yeah. Oh, I gotta stretch. I'm gonna put my gain down because I feel like the gain seems like a little too loud. Hold on. Just like put it somewhere in the middle like that. Because it seems like it's clipping over the red sometimes. Which I have a big sock that I put on over instead of like an actual pop filter. But like it seems like it's like not working okay. It's not like working that well or whatever. Man, words. Yeah, part of the growth as well, like the growth in my brain, I just suspect that it's like that's why it affects my speech because of like where it is. That's why it's like I have a hard time speaking and stuff. But I have to talk to my doctor about that. It's like, could this be connected? And the thing is like it's so small too, so how much of an effect is this really putting on me? But I'm kind of enjoying this like coloring stream. It's like very relaxing. I think the possible Gundam stream that I might do if I find a Gundam at the anime convention that I would like to purchase, I think it'll be a little bit more stressful. I feel like I'm going to be focusing more on the Gundam than I am on chat. She is looking so pretty. Yeah, I was like looking at the stream and I think you can see the purple through there. Yeah, the mic can only do so much at once, yeah. Because I did some like Google diagnosing. Because I was just curious of like, hey, what could like possibly happen? Because I have to wait for this neurologist. And they're like, I mean, yeah, like having like a little thingy in your brain can, depending on where it is, can affect speech. So I'm like, ah, yes, I knew it. I saw some dog hair to blow it away. I was thinking of more for like the book club stuff. Or like the book club stuff, so like the reading streams. It should just more do of like a book review kind of thing. Instead of just like reading the books. Which I don't think it's something I'll stream. I think that'll be like a YouTube video. But maybe if I want to be more involved with like reading, just do it like on my own time. And then just do like book reviews or something like that. Which I think maybe not because I'm not like the most like when it comes to like books and stuff or like things like that, like media, it's like I'm not that good with my words on how to describe things. I'm just like, I like this book because I like this book. That is my review. 4 stars, a star off because sometimes it was confusing. Okay, next book. um, I think it has potential, yeah. Because I also put part of like the streaming as well. Like, if I'm like talking to friends, I remember I was doing like the Snapchat thing. I was like using a Snapchat video, which yeah, like I still use Snapchat because I still have like a lot of friends that still use it. I was just like talking it and like my friends like, oh, like you have like a really nice voice, and I was like, okay, this can have like some sort of potential to it. I have reviewed stuff before on Twitter, but they're like very short reviews after just watching something new to me. Yeah, like you just don't like. Yeah, it's like okay, like this was cool. That's my review. Yeah, I'm not too like articulate with how I describe things. Like I can just say like I can't really describe why I like something. It's just like I just kind of like it. It was just very nice. There's some things that I can like say. Like I know like when I read Brandon Sanderson, I just like the way that he writes like character dialogue and like how people talk to each other, and I enjoy the way that he writes that. And like yeah, there's cool battle scenes, but I love the parts where it's like, okay, now let's talk about a plan. I'm like, oh great. Yes, they're talking about a plan. I can't wait because I love the way that he writes just people having conversation. It's like really, really good and entertaining. So like I can understand that. But it's a rarity. Excuse me? Like I'm gonna stop at the bangs and then actually wonder if there are any other colors that I can. I really love that very like bright turquoise. The light aqua. I like to articulate for fun, but it is also just how I am sometimes. I'm not the one for writing or anything, but I don't have too much trouble saying what I enjoy. Like with the Across the Spider-Verse movies in terms of art and also the story itself. It's like, yeah, like I feel like Spider-Verse, it's like, yeah, you can just like enjoy it because it's really pretty and they like the story was well written, but I can't really describe why. It's just like, I don't know, I just like really liked it. And yeah. I think I can use this aqua like on the edges or something. But I haven't watched the new Spider-Verse movie yet, which I should. Man, I haven't watched the new Barbie movie. I haven't watched the Spider-Man movie. I haven't watched Oppenheimer. All these great movies that came out. I did not watch yet. Every time it comes to movies, you always have to try to find someone to watch with. It's kind of weird going by yourself. Speaking of like flavors and stuff, like I do love like salty stuff, and like my favorite saltiness is like popcorn, movie theater popcorn. I remember one time I just went to a movie theater just to like buy movie theater popcorn and then leave. I watched it in theaters and I bought it the other day. Barbie, I still need to see it. Yeah, I feel like Spider-Verse, I need to see it in theaters, but I don't know how long it's gonna be in theaters for. It's been a while since it's out. I don't know if it's like still in theaters. That's the thing. Drink some water. It's crazy how the Barbie like advertising stuff, how much of a chokehold that put on me. Because like I never was a Barbie person, and then all of a sudden it's like I need to watch this Barbie movie. This is a little bit too pigmented, I'm afraid. I've got to be careful. Same, but their marketing was the best I've ever seen for a movie. Oh, right, yeah. So just like the support of just being very smart in their marketing. And I feel really like happy for Ryan Gosling, because he really resonates with this Ken character, and I feel happy for him because he's like, this was what I was meant to be. This character was everything that I was meant to be in my movie career, because he was like a theater like dance kid, and like he just like is so into it. Kind of liking this Aqua. Yeah, he did tap dancing. Yeah, like people were like showing videos of him like when he was a kid doing like theater stuff and tap dancing. Which I'll say, like, I heard he's great. He's a great actor. Like with Blade, the new Blade Runner, the second Blade Runner movie or whatever, because he was in that one. And there's that other movie as well where he was like a driver. Is it literally called Driver? No. Am I just being a fake fan? I don't know. He's one of my favorite actors. Yeah, he's like a classic, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not know Ryan Gosling? Yeah, Blade Runner, and he made me Driver. Yeah, I was like, it's got to be something about like a car. And I'm like, there's no way it's just called Driver. But hey. Yeah, I love Blade Runner. Maybe, yeah, Driver. Maybe he made me love him as actor. Yeah, he's like a good actor. Yeah, and like I don't think anyone has ever had an issue with him. He's just like, he's good at what he does. He's very attractive. That's it. I have not seen anyone say anything about that man. Unless I was too young to find out what he did in his past, then I don't know. He seems like just like the Hollywood actor. Like another Hollywood actor would be like, the Hollywood actor would be like Tom Cruise, but I don't like Tom Cruise, so. I think Keanu Reeves is also one. He's just kind of like this classic like movie actor. Like he's one of the good guys, like Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I'd probably say Ryan Reynolds, like he should be like, he's like Canadian Pride. He also went to like the same school that I went to university for. That's not a sentence. When I used to go to university, he went to that same university, not in that city, just like the company or whatever. I guess you would call it the branch of university. And so when you graduate, he always like, you'll see Ryan Reynolds do like a congratulation video for the people that graduated from there, which I never graduated from there. So, but I know because I used to go there. So he literally like lives in my area. Like he used to live in Vancouver, like he used to live in Vancouver, but I don't live in Vancouver as I established before. So just lovable. Yeah, Keanu Reeves too. And the thing is with Ryan Reynolds, personally, it's like I see a lot of guys are like into Ryan Reynolds. They're like, yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds is like the guy you should look at when you want to be like a better, like Ryan Reynolds is the guy that guys look up to because they think that his personality is what is like attractive. But personally for me, it's like I don't really fuck with Ryan Reynolds like that personally. I don't know. As a girl, personally, I don't know. Like he does kind of seem a little annoying to me. I think I'm just being like nitpicky. But I know a lot of guys like Ryan Reynolds. I think the personality really resonates with them. Yeah, because he is funny and just charming. Yeah. I personally don't like, I'm kind of over him right now. Like, I don't know. Every time when I think about like when guys talk about like hot celebrities, they always say Ryan Reynolds. but I don't personally like. I don't know. Maybe I need to like do some more research or something. I don't know. I guess some other Canadian pride would be like Drake. Drake is one. The Weeknd. Same like Keanu Reeves. He grew up in Canada. I mean, he used to go like a lot of places, but I think it was like mostly Canada that we know him as Canadian. Like he used to play on like a hockey team, and he played like a goalie. I like Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I like Jake Gyllenhaal a lot more. Drake is a meme. Yeah, he's not a real person. I mean, like I should be like, oh my god, Drake, he's like from here, but like he's been doing some stuff that I do not like, so. And I don't really listen to Drake in general. I'm like an old head when it comes to Drake, so I like his like original stuff when he was on, what was Lil Wayne's like little group? It wasn't Dirty Money, right? Like when he was under like Lil Wayne and he had that like really different style of hip hop, that kind of like R&B mix kind of thing. Before he was a meme, yeah. Like when he was just off of Degrassi kind of thing. Let's do the base hair. Ooh, electric blue. Before he was the that leader just trying to make the best radio songs, yeah. It was like the one song that like I always hear here. It's like was it Best I Ever Have or something like that? That was my favorite. Like there's like maybe one song I like on Certified Lover Boy, but then like I'm not really proud about that. So because I understand like that beat, like the beat is kind of basic, so I get why like, but it's like sometimes it was like nice. It's nice to listen to in the car. Well, when I used to drive. I didn't really follow much of Drake's music other than like the stuff that got memed. I get that for some stuff, yeah. I need to drink some water. I think like one person that I completely cut off with music was probably Kanye West, and I loved Kanye West's music, as a lot of people have. But I just had to make the decision because that was like the one type of music that I felt real guilty listening to. I did not feel good listening to Kanye West stuff, and so I just like I actively don't choose his music, and if it's in a playlist, I just get rid of it. It's just like supporting him is just too much work. Too much. It's exhausting. Yeah, sorry for like the chat not working. I don't know why nothing is showing up here. Like my Twitch is connected. I keep refreshing the thing. It's not working. Like I could see you in the chat, just like not displayed up here on my display here. I separate the art from the artist, so I never care. The only artist I actively support is Tyler, the Creator. Sorry, I'm like blanking out. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, for some artists, I can do that sometimes. But there are some cases where it's like, it's like so bad that like, I just literally can't, you know? And sometimes I feel like sometimes you have to make that decision because also it's like, yeah, sure, maybe this music made me happy, then also I can learn to just like move on and look for new things, you know? And I've been fine listening to other music other than Kanye. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I guess it's a little easier considering that Kanye, like his fan base is also kind of dwindling as well. So when you don't have that very strong fan base going on, it's like it feels easier to leave them, you know? I just listen to whoever I want to. Yeah, that's fair. Um yeah, for me personally though, like Kanye, I feel like when I listen to him, I just don't feel good. Um and I feel like comfortable doing that because uh I did that and I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything and I can just move on to other music. Yeah, there's like some artists where I've like done that, where I've just like, you know what, I just don't vibe with you anymore, and I just like leave. You just gotta learn how to say no. Sorry if my Spotify just like doesn't work, because for some reason switching a song is way too much for my computer, so it will take its sweet time to switch to another song. Yeah, I've done that in the past. Same with streamers. Yeah, I'd imagine all the XQC people are just like saying like, "Okay, see ya." Like I don't like that guy. And he's also Canadian Pride as well. He's from Quebec. I don't like him. That's why he sounds the way he does. I never watched him to begin with. Yeah, I wasn't that too into Overwatch at the time, so I guess you'd probably watch him a lot if like Overwatch was your thing. Um, like I was actually no, actually that was a lie. I was actually really into Overwatch, like a lot of people, but for some reason when it came to streaming with like Overwatch, it wasn't really in my radar. The things like the league that was going on wasn't really interesting to me because I was also into League of Legends at the time, and League of Legends interested me a little bit more than Overwatch League. So yeah, yeah, I know because there's a female streamer that is from the same place, and people call her female XQC because she speaks the exact same way. Yeah, um, yeah, he's just from Quebec. That's why he sounds like that. And also, like, he's just like roided up with Adderall. So that's also the one thing as well. Apparently he doesn't like sleep properly. Like he would skip a day of sleep or like a night of sleep. And like you probably need to do that. Maybe that's why he's not thinking straight. He just doesn't sleep. Like what I'm doing right now. But I think I make more sense and I have a speech impediment, so checkmate, I guess. That was lame. Forget I said that. Yeah, the shadows that I'm making is a little hard to see what's going on. But like job-wise, I do have like some things technically lined up. Hopefully good things come from it. So I'm just kind of working on that. Um, and even though like I'm kind of excited to do this volunteering stuff for anime convention, sometimes things like that do mess with like structure. I don't know if you get that feeling as well. Where it's like you plan something, but you have something in between. I don't know, I was like, same, it's almost daylight quoting you on that, yeah. Whereas like I have these things like planned that I want to do, that has like a due date that I want to do, but then I have this volunteering stuff and I feel like it just throws a wrench into my structure. I remember talking to someone like that where they're like, I even though I need to go travel and visit like my parents or whatever, it's like it just messes with like the structure in my life. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, wouldn't you think visiting your parents would be a little bit important? You know, set things aside. I do get my flow interrupted by planned events and random stuff, yeah. And it gets you like, yeah. Because when it gets interrupted, then it's like, okay, well, now I don't want to do it anymore. Now my flow's all messed up. And the thing is, too, because this volunteering stuff, it's like the commute is like at most like an hour commute, coming back and forth. Maybe like minimum like 40 minutes. So to come back home, which like shifts would end at like 8 p.m. or something like that. So like then coming back home, it's like, do I really want to like do the thing right now? Which I contemplated whether I wanted to like stream on the weekend, but like while I'm coming back from volunteering, but I'm like, I think I'm gonna be way too tired. Gonna be way too tired after. Wow, she is looking so good. Like I like the blue hair. I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do for the dress. I'm just like trying to look at all the colors that I have. Hmm. Because I want to do something pink. I think that would look really cute, but whoop, mess with the wires there. At least it didn't like fall over, as usual. I have like these oranges. I have like a purple, which I already used, so I don't know if I want to use the purple. Let me put this down. I don't know if you can see all of them. I got all these colors. I got, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. I'm trying not to trip over everything. I have like all these colors. I have all the blues out, but I don't know if I want to continue using blue in the dress. Yeah, I remember I had my flow going when I was doing some art and I had some like art planned. And then family was like, okay, we're going to vacation here. And I was just like really, really upset about it. It's like, I'm going on vacation and I'm upset about it because it messed with my flow. Like, I could be home doing art right now, as of like that would make me happier. That would feel too monochromatic, yeah. Yeah, I just want to do something a little bit more warm toned, like a pink. I don't think I have a lot of warm tone stuff. I do have like a lot of reddy oranges, so maybe I can like think of that. But eventually when I got there, I was like, okay, I'm chill. I'm fine. Gotta yawn. I hate it when my fam gets home and in the middle of an art piece and it ruins the flow. Yeah. You know what ruins the flow the most? Just like eating, like being hungry, realizing that you have to eat food, it messes with the flow. Like I'd rather just starve and work on this art piece. I don't want my flow to be ruined. That's my biggest enemy. Eating food. As much as I love to do it, I wish there was a way where I didn't have to do it. Because then like sometimes you have to spend money because you want to get fast food. Then or maybe you have to spend time looking for things in the fridge to eat, or like then you have to realize, oh, I have to actually like make something and not just like have something pre-packaged and just heat it up in the air fryer. Yeah, I was like checking to see in my OBS if any of this is showing up, and I'm like, ain't no way this is showing up. It's a very pretty light pink or light blue. I might even maybe some other stream I would like to continue this and just maybe next time get an eraser to like clean up the edges here. And when I'm done with this, I can put this up on my wall. Oh yeah, speaking of like commissions, yeah, I have my commissions open. I'm terribly like I'm very like bad at like advertising that stuff, but yeah, I have commissions open. If anyone here is interested, I offer 8.5 by 11 prints with a fee. This is like basically how big it is. Just like it's just USA letter sized. This is my hand. So pretty small. But that's like the most accessible paper that I can get. I would really love to like do more bigger stuff, but that's a lot of money. Yeah, something like art things. It's like it's just so much money that goes into it. I always think about, ooh, I should like reopen like my art shop again. But trying to get things done third party is just like so expensive, especially in Canada. Very expensive. It's like so much money that you pour into, and it's like, it's like, will I actually make profit off of this? Because a lot of the good stuff, like if you want to get good stickers, a lot of like there's a certain company in the UK that has really good options. Sticker app is one in, I think it's in California, but like even getting stuff from the States is very expensive. So yeah. And like I always wanted to get like prints done, but it's hard when you don't have a job and you need to make commission to afford like the shipping stuff. And then when you're like not making commission, it's like, well, I guess I don't make prints then. But I almost had like a art commission scare, like a scammer thing happen. And luckily nothing bad came of it. I just like came to my senses and I'm like, this is like a little bit too suspicious. That reminds me, my damn controller is finally in the US. Oh, what type of controller? I don't remember if you mentioned that. Like a game console controller, yeah. But it's a few states away and it just hasn't gotten here yet. Okay, that's good. At least it's in the country. I gotta yawn again. Yeah, last time I had like a controller shipped with me, it was like Joy-Cons. It was the Hitbox style. Oh, that's really cool. Good. Hitbox style. That's nice. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with the Hitbox. So, yeah. When I hear about Hitbox, I think about the people that are mad about it. But hey, if it works with you, like if it feels better for you, just go for it. I've had art scammers try to scam me before, but thankfully I didn't fall for it. Yeah. For some reason, this one just felt very real, you know? And there was signs at the beginning that should have felt obvious to me, but obviously these people target people that are desperate, and so I was like entertaining it all. And I even like made up some sketches. This person wanted like artwork of like a green and blue Spider-Man or something, which conceptually that can be really cool. So I made like these drafts and stuff. And yeah, but I'm not in tournaments, so I don't care. Yeah, that's good. And it's not like it isn't an option for others to use it. People crying about IRL meta. Yeah, I think as long as you're not doing in tournament, that's fine, because the whole banning of hitbox is kind of like it could be a real thing. Like people, the idea of banning hitboxes in tournament is like a real thing that might happen. So yeah, I don't know. You got to be careful with that stuff. Yeah, this person made it feel very real. And I still have those drafts in my computer. But just always make sure, like, if anyone listening, that like you keep it persistent with how you want the paying method to be. And if it's like we're using PayPal and we're gonna use PayPal, you start there and you end there. You don't try to do anything for the person any other way. It's like, listen, my rules is PayPal, and if you can't provide that, then I'm not going to continue the artwork if you can't pay me. And I always do some sort of payment in the beginning to secure the commission, and then get the rest after. If that's like that's an option that people can have. If you just want to pay full stop, if you trust me that much, like that's an option as well, but I don't know if you want to do that. Has happened, Capcom hates them. Okay, yeah, never mind then. Yeah, the one that was trying to scam me wanted birthday artwork. Also be extra suspicious if they try to use checks to pay, because that's textbook overpay scam. Yeah, that was the thing that they're doing. They're like, oh, like I would use like an e-check or something, and then they'll do the scam where it's like so like if you were to offer, like you would offer like an email, because that's how PayPal works. You just offer an email, and I didn't give them like my real email, I gave them my art email, and they're like oh, so like I don't know, like I completely blocked out of my brain, but they would say like, oh, you need to, I don't even remember. It was like, oh, it was like something like, oh, I accidentally made the check for this amount of money and like way more than you wanted me to give you, or something like that. Like it was, so like they needed you to like do like a thing where you, I don't know. I just completely blocked it out of my mind. But yeah, if someone's offering you another payment way, like you just don't, because it's easy to set up a PayPal. Okay, it's not that hard. Like I had my best friend, like we did a small commission because she was doing like piercing stuff, and she wanted like a business card design. And even then, when I was like, okay, yeah, maybe like $30 or something, she was like, okay, like how do I pay you? It's like, oh, I mostly use PayPal, and she set up a PayPal so she could pay me $30. They accidentally paid for more than you needed, but that's a fake check. So if you try to use any of it, the bank will charge it from your actual balance. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot how she was doing it, but she was like, yeah, like I can't, because it was like a whole like birthday thing. So I'm telling her, it's like, you know, like I can make these in time, just like I'm just letting you know that, like, what did I say? Oh, it's like, yeah, by the way, like if because she's like, yeah, I can't change the check thing, like the balance. I have to talk to my like accountant or whatever, and they said I can't do anything up until like a month. And I'm like, that's a lie, because if you mess up on a check, you can just right away ask, oh yeah, I put the wrong number, and they can like do something for you. And I'm like, you know, like because it is like I have to wait for a month, like I can't promise you that I'm gonna get it done on time. Um, but they're just like asking, it's like, okay, like I need your information and stuff to like whatever. And I never gave them any sort of information other than my artist name and like my artist email. And there's nothing like crazy about that. Like it's nothing. The email doesn't link to anything. So that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. But they make it sound real, right? They like um maybe I'm just like the dumbass, but they make it sound like this girl was like saying how like, oh, like I need to talk to my kid's like husband, and it makes it sound like, oh, she had like a divorce or something. And she's like, yeah, I have to talk to my kid's husband about that, and the kid has a name and stuff. And also part of the rules was like with my art is like I don't draw like real people. So I always get people in my DMs like, "Hey, can you draw pets?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I don't draw animals." And then they'll be like, "Hey, can you draw my girlfriend?" It's like, "Sorry, I don't draw real people." And I always tell them it's like, "Hey, I have a card in my bio. Please look at that if you want to see the rules of what I do." There was like one person that was just like a kid, and they're just like, "Hey, can you draw my girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's another one of those like scammer people." So I just replied back. I was like, "Sorry, I only draw like these. I don't draw real humans. Um, here's my card, or like my card's in my bio if you want to see the rules." And they're like, "Oh, okay. I like your link drawing. This is really cool." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And I just replied back to keep it consistent. I was like, I mean, like I can do that for commissions as well. I draw like characters and stuff. I draw like original characters. I just don't draw real humans. Um, and then they asked, it's like, oh, how much are your commissions? And then I showed them a screenshot of my prices, and they didn't reply back because obviously for kids, any amount for art is too much. So I was like, whatever, that's fine. At least he was being like respectful about it. But when with this scammer, it's like right when I said like, hey, like I don't draw like, cause he first she's like, can you draw my kid? And I was like, sorry, I don't draw real kids. And they're just like really like doing like the brainstorming with me. It's like, okay, like they like Spider-Man and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well I can like do a Spider-Man thing. And yeah. Real people are pain to draw because there's a line to try to not offend people when doing so you when doing so by how you depict them. Yeah, that's true. Too much stuff for me. I don't like doing them. Yeah, like things like animals and real people. There is definitely like a line there that I haven't like haven't really mastered that. And I feel like things like original characters and like just characters in general is something that I'm just comfortable drawing. So like I want to put my best foot forward kind of thing. And it's always about the pricing, right? It's like I underprice myself. Um but obviously they don't want that. I think the cheapest commissions that I offer are like $2. Um they're like my 1 day commissions where like it's like a very crude drawing. It can get more expensive if you like, because I don't like, just to make it as cheap as possible, I don't put like a shipping fee on them. But it can get more expensive than $2 because obviously then you have to pay the PayPal price. And then if I ship the thing to you, you probably have to pay additional like shipping on it. So like it's probably going to be more than $2. It's annoying because it's like you gotta underprice until you build a base of follower supporters before moving up. Yeah. And there's like a lot of artists that are like No, just like do the price you're like you think you're worth. Like, you know what I mean? And then like the people will just come because they'll see the worth, and it's like, I don't know. Even like my like parents are like, just do it for free, and it's like, okay, no, I won't do it for free. That's one thing. Maybe it's like if it's family, like a little quick thing, yeah, maybe for free. But if it's like, even if it's family, honestly, if you want me to do a whole illustration thing, like I have to get some sort of payment. I'm sorry. Like I'm not gonna do a month's worth of work for free. I think it was the indigo blue that I was using, right? Oh, I forgot a strand. Yeah, because like when you have a follower and stuff, you can mostly like price your art the way that you do, because people want you because of your name. They don't really care what it is. It's like they just want art from you. Which I'm not like trying to deny people's like experiences or whatever. Like they're probably, yeah, really good at their art and they've been doing it for years. But I think your name also contributes to that. Oh, this is kind of dull. Hold on. Or this is like too sharp. It's like very sharp. There's like a little dry part in here that's like scratching the paper. I have tested different prices, but it's not where I want them exactly. Just like people who pay for luxury bands that are poor quality. Yeah. Honestly, I don't like mind luxury brands personally, because there's some like brands where it's like, oh, this is like actually like an interesting piece that I would pay money for. I'm not the type of person that would just get like a plain tee kind of thing from like a huge brand. Some like very expensive clothes I got, it's just like they are quality, so I do try to like think about that. But yeah, for sure. Like I think the most expensive that I price for my commissions, it's just like dynamic illustrative stuff. It's like 200, and obviously with a shipping fee and like PayPal pricing and like the extra shipping that possibly might be on there on the piece. Because sometimes when it does land into your country, like they ask you for like extra shipping kind of thing. But that's like the most I have for that's usually like a month's work of work, depending on the subject matter. Or mid quality at best. There's somewhere it is just goofy though, like Gucci t-shirts. Obviously, it's difficult when it's like a Louis Vuitton bag, which is definitely high grade, yeah. Or like a Birkin bag, which that is like a sought out bag. I don't know if you know like how Birkin bags work, but it's like it's very, very, very exclusive. Like you can be the most famous celebrity to exist, but if they don't think that you represent the brand well, you're not gonna get a Birkin bag. So like when you see someone with a Birkin, it's like that is luxury. Luxury with like a capital L, italicized, underscore, rainbow text, luxury. It's like Ferrari is now. If you mess with the car too much, they'll send a cease and desist. Yeah. Well, hold on. Like essentially you don't own your car, yeah. Ferrari is the biggest high class joke right now in performance cars, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to cars, I'm not too much with luxury. I have a dad that's really into BMW and we have BMWs, so That's like the most luxury I've ever had existed. And like other cars, like we have like a mid luxury, so it's like a Mazda, which the Mazda, it's like it's pretty, it's fine, but like I don't like it. I have more performance on luxury. Yeah, the best car I've ever driven was literally just a Toyota Camry. Like that was the best car I've ever driven in my life. Like we drive, like we regularly drive a Mazda, and like we had to bring it into the body shop, and then we drove around a Toyota Camry for like a week and a bit. And like me and my sister, we were like, we really like this car. It's just like I'd rather have a 20K Porsche than like a 400K Bentley. Okay, yeah, I'm not too versed on like cars. But all I know is that I really like a Toyota Camry. That's all. Like, yeah, again, we have a Mazda, and it, like the freaking seat adjuster thing is like broken, so it's like loud every time you like use it, and like the speakers are not that good. The display is like messed up or something. The seats are all leather, and they're not even that comfortable. I don't know, maybe because the car is a little old. But it's like it doesn't feel comfy. Yeah. So if I ever were to own a car, I think I would just literally get a Toyota Camry, something basic like that, because it's literally just an everything car. It just does its thing. The Camrys are some of the most reliable vehicles, especially with the VVT engines. Okay. It's kind of cool that you know so much about that stuff. I don't know, maybe because I'm just like a loser girl that is not into cars. I just yeah. I mean, like I kind of had that I kind of had that same feeling when I got a new phone, and I did like all this like I don't know that much. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know way more than me. But for the average person, it's yeah. I just like cars more than normal people, yeah. They don't do anything. They just kind of sit there, right? But like I recently got a new phone like I mentioned, and like I kind of did the same thing with like phones and like trying to research. I'm like, okay, like what's like in this phone? And it's like, oh, a Snapdragon? Oh, that's cool. They usually don't use like Snapdragons. They use like a little Equinox card or whatever. And so yeah, I've been watching a lot of Marquez Brownlee, and now I have like some knowledge about phones and stuff randomly in my head. But it is late, and I need to stop streaming. I kind of like this stream. I think I would like to continue drawing this girl, or however long streams it will take for me to finish drawing this girl. But yeah, I gotta sleep. Yeah, the sun is gonna be up for me soon. Yeah, and the moon has been up for a long time on my side. Yeah. Don't really know how to sign out. Other than next stream would possibly be Monday. So look out for that. Possibly Monday. Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, you too. You have a good day.